Good morning, beloveds. It is Thanksgiving Day, and on Thanksgiving Day, I practice extreme self-care, like extreme self-care. Meaning I got out of bed at 10:30 this morning. But generally, Thanksgiving Day is coming on the heels of fair season. I've already worked, 7 weeks out at fair. It used to be 8. And then it's a 3-day weekend. Now, I'm not working all 3 days. I'm only working a day and a half of the 3-day weekend. My husband is also working a day and a half of the 3-day weekend. So it's not as bad, but that's one of the reasons why on Thanksgiving Day I do as little as possible. Like literally as little as possible. I have, get out of bed as late as I can, and I will probably go to bed early, especially since he has to get up at 5:30. We're only going to do 2 meals, and we're not doing the traditional turkey and all of that craziness. We're going to make enchiladas, which means I'll have dinner for tomorrow while he's at fair. So that's it. It's extreme self-care, extreme. I don't go for the whole. I'm not going to get up at the crack of dawn on Thanksgiving and cook. I met a customer the other day who was 74 and had never cooked a turkey in her life. And I'm like, goals. I'm closing in on, I'll be 49 in about a week. Yeah, actually a week. My birthday's a week from today. And I've never cooked a turkey and have no plans to. So, I don't know. We'll see. But hence me doing this at 11 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. Extreme self-care. I'm not going to get sucked into the wear myself out for the holidays. Mostly because I've already worn myself out for the fair season. So, all right. Oh, there's that receipt. It is November 25th. It is Thanksgiving Day. And this, let's see. Okay, so November 25th, our title is The Life of the Father is My Life. At which point I would tell you then that the title is The Life of Spirit is Your Life. The life of Spirit is our life. When heaven and man exert their powers in concert, all transformations have their commencements determined. And that is the texts of Taoism. God should not withhold itself from me. That which God is, God has given fully unto me to enjoy. The life of God is perfect. It is eternal. It is the essence of all things. That life is God's gift to me. Therefore, this fullness is within me, ready to manifest through me as I partake of it. Since I am self-choosing, even though divinely endowed, I partake of my divinity only as I let it through. I am always in the midst of plenty everywhere. I know that I live in a changeless reality. I am not disturbed by the passage of time, the movements around me, nor the variations of experience through which I go. Something within me remains immovable and says, "Be still and know that I am God." There is no here and there to the spirit, for both are included within itself, even as yesterday, today, and tomorrow are but passing events in its Unitarian wholeness. Even as big and little are but outliers, the manifest universe is an expression of that which transcends time, overshadows eternity, encompasses all forms, and remains stable within that which forever flows. I now consciously draw upon the life which is mine. I now re-educate myself, definitely, by whatever steps I may, to a belief that there is given unto me a fullness of life, which is divine in its origin, eternal in its presence, and always fully available. The life of God is my life. The infinite riches of God are mine to enjoy. The vital good health, the wisdom, the peace of God are mine. All things which proceed from it may be mine. I now claim them. The act of taking is my right and privilege. I exercise it now intelligently and in full faith. Well, there you go. I think that maybe the reason why they choose to do treatments like this in November, because I noticed it in the other book too, the 365, is because Thanksgiving moves around. Both Thanksgiving and Easter move around. And so they are, the editors of the book chose to, we can't declare this day Thanksgiving, so let's do these kind of treatments in these months so that whatever day that particular holiday, in this case Thanksgiving, falls on, is going to be really good. And I really like this one today. What I want for myself, I want for you. What you want for yourself, you want for everyone else. What God wants for all of us is to be happy. And Spirit has manifested a world which is amazing. And we, as co-creators, have the right and the power and the obligation to continue to further this manifestation into its amazing infinity, its infinite variety. And there's some really amazing lines in here. And yes, I did gender neutral it. Just because it was so good. So good. Because the title is the life of the Father is mine. So the life of God is mine. Is my life. I just didn't gender neutral the text from the Taoism. Because if you go look it up. So God could not withhold itself from me. Because we're made of God's stuff. That which God is that which God is, God has given unto us to enjoy. Because God made us from God's stuff. We are made of spirit. Everything around us is made of spirit. There's like one substance. I mean, really, honestly, if you look at physics, go down, everything's made of atoms. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of that God particle. The life of God is perfect, meaning the life of God is whole. Everything is included in the life of God. The life of God is eternal because God does not know time and space. And it is the essence of all things, i.e. the atom. That life is God's gift to us. The life that we are living is the gift God made to us. We are here in this vehicle to express God, to live and to learn and to be happy and to be joyous and to experience. Therefore, this fullness is within me, ready to manifest through me as I partake of it. So everything that we are, everything that we could be already exists within us. What I like to call God's idea of us. But it is up to us to choose. That's where that free will comes in. How much do you want to be? How much do you want to be? This is your choice. And if you want to play small, you're welcome to play small. And if you want to play big, you can. And everything you need is already within you. It's up to you to say yes, to be willing to accept. Since I am self-choosing, even though divinely endowed, I partake of my divinity only as I let it through. Which is why occasionally I like to say unkink the hose. Because we have this amazing flow of godness, goodness, godness, flowing to us all the time. The question is how much are we willing to let flow through us? And if you were a small child like I was, you know how you kink a hose and then you let it go. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's like that power is always flowing through us, but we can choose to kink that hose and cut it off. And cut it off. I am always in the midst of plenty everywhere. Okay, I'm always in the midst of plenty everywhere. I know that I live in a changeless reality. And so that's one of those statements of facts that you can absolutely use when you are feeling and gratitude. That's it. If you want to be grateful for what's going on around you, then there you are. Because when you're grateful for the little things, you start to see. When you're grateful for the big things, you start to see the medium, middle things, and then the little things. Or sometimes you need to start the other way around. Sometimes you need to be grateful for the little things, then you start to see the middle things, then you start to see the big things, and you go, oh wow, this is pretty incredible. So whichever end of the tower, you can start in the middle too. It's your gratitude. So it is about looking around and seeing the good. It is about looking around and seeing the good and knowing, and knowing that it's there. Sometimes we're just blinded by whatever's going on around us and we don't see it. So that's when it's helpful to take a step back, look around and go, no, I have this to be grateful for, this. I have you to be grateful for, this, that, and the other thing. I am not disturbed by the passage of time, the movement around me, nor the various variations of experience through which I go. Something within me remains immovable and says, be still and know that I am God. Because we carry that spark within us. We carry that splinter within us. And I like to use the word splinter to remind myself that in the grand scheme of things, how small I am. How big it is. And I don't mean to make myself feel small. What I mean to do is remind myself how vast life is. To remind and how much of it is out there. And that I have the chance and the choice to experience so much. And that there's so much more. There's so much more. That's why I like to use splinter. Not to make myself feel small. To remind myself how much is out there. And I find it exciting. But that splinter, that spark within me, is what holds me and reminds me that there is something greater than I am. And that something greater does hold me. And so no matter what happens, I can make another choice. And it's going to be okay. There is no here and there to spirit, for both are included within itself, even as yesterday, today, and tomorrow are but passing events in its Unitarian wholeness, even as big and little are but outliers. There's no here or there. God is present at every point in time and space. There's nowhere God is not. There's nowhere spirit is not. And what we have to understand is that the spectrum, it's all included. It's all included. And if we don't like where we are on the spectrum, we're free to move ourselves a little bit or a lot in either direction, in any direction. If you play chess, remember that the queen can move in any direction and as many spaces as she wants. The manifest universe is an expression of that which transcends time, overshadows eternity, encompasses all forms, and remains stable within that which forever flows. Which is a terrifyingly scientific statement and an excellent one to remind us it's bigger than we are, but it holds us gently. I now consciously draw upon the life which is mine. I now re-educate myself definitely by whatever steps I make to a belief that there is given unto me a fullness of life, which is divine in its origin, eternal in its presence, and always fully available. So I'm consciously drawing upon that life. And I re-educate myself. Well, how do I re-educate myself? Well, by doing things like this. By listening, by reading this book, by listening to people talk about this kind of writing, by reading all of the sacred texts in the world, because all of them have some interesting ideas that and one of them may have one that resonates better with you than another. So read them all. Read them all. Listen to sacred music. Go take a walk. Go get yourself in nature. Or water. That's a great way to do it too. To remind yourself, there's more to life than what we live every day. The life of God is our life. The life of God is my life. The life of Spirit is my life. I am living a spiritual life. The infinite richness of Spirit is mine to enjoy. The vital good health, the wisdom, the peace of God are mine. All things which proceed from Spirit may be mine. May be mine. It's up to me to accept them. I now claim them. The act of taking is my right and privilege. And remember, when you take from the divine, there's plenty more to go around. We are not taking from anyone else because there's enough. And that's because what we want for ourselves, we want for everyone else. I exercise it now intelligently and in full faith. And I think that's where the intelligently comes in. To recognize that I want what I want. I want everyone to be healthy, happy, whole, in peace, to have enough, to be satisfied. I want everyone to have that. And there's enough. And there's enough. That's where resource management comes in. It's not even research management. It's really about getting things where they need to be. So that's a whole nother talk. So we will move on with that. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to consciously draw upon the life, to consciously draw upon that God life, which is our life now. Because we're drawing on it all the time anyway. It's up to us to be conscious about it. It's up to us to make those conscious decisions, to re-educate ourselves, to consciously use that law that we're using all the time anyway. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move into the process of my day, which is a day of nothing. It is literally a day of rest. The only thing I plan to do when the rain does move out is I want to go to the park and toss peanuts to squirrels, because I haven't done it in a couple of months and I miss them, and I'm pretty sure they probably miss me too. So do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day. All right, you've got your mission. And I do encourage you, especially since it is Thanksgiving Day and people do have a tendency to wear themselves out. Please remember to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Sometimes it's 3 deep breaths. Sometimes it is thinking before you respond to something that somebody says around the dinner table. When we gather family together, it can get interesting. So, let your words pass through 3 gates. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true? Because sometimes it's none of those. And it's the best advice I can give you when you're sitting at the dinner table with your family. So, and that can be your loving, kind, compassionate thing for yourself and for everybody else at the table too. All right, beloveds. I'm out. I'm out. Normally, I would encourage you to engage your mind and your body. Normally, I would encourage you to go get a face full of sun. I will encourage you to drink plenty of water. But Thanksgiving can be a day of rest. And even if you're busy and cooking and working your heart out, take a moment to rest. All right, beloveds. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Whatever else it is that you do. And may your cooking be amazing, and may your family be amazing and peaceful, and may you have a wonderful time. And whatever else happens, I'm sure Reverend David will be on around 5-ish with you. And I will see you tomorrow at around 9 a.m. But take care of yourself and know that you're a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased. And while you open your soul and allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right now, all around you. Take that breath, look at your family, and see the Spirit in them, and see the heaven in them. And let us all know good things for each other. All right. Blessings upon you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I'll see you tomorrow. Know that you're loved.